The amendments of 2020, which were proposed in January 2020, are the second substantial amendments to the Constitution of Russia of 1993. To introduce these amendments, Vladimir Putin, President of Russia, held a national vote. They were approved on 1 July 2020 by a contested popular vote, with Putin signing an executive order on 3 July 2020 to officially insert the amendments into the Russian constitution. They took effect on 4 July 2020. President of Russia incumbent policies elections premiership presidency. Since the ratification of the constitution in 1993, only 3 amendments have been proposed. In 2008, in order to prolong the presidential and the State Duma terms, as well as imposing an annual report by the Prime Minister for the Duma members, 4 articles had been changed. In the beginning of 2014, 8 more amendments were ratified and 1 was taken away, which resulted in abolition of the Supreme Court of Arbitration and adjustment of prosecutors' assignment. In the summer of 2014, 2 more articles had been changed in order to allow the president to choose up to 10% of the Federation Council. President Vladimir Putin made new proposal during his annual address to the Federal Assembly on 15 January 2020. According to the Articles 136 and 108, amendments to the provisions of Chapters 3 to 8 require the same approval as a federal constitutional law, that is, a 2/3 supermajority vote in the State Duma, the lower house, and a 3/4 supermajority vote in the Federation Council, the upper house, and come into force as they have passed the regional legislatures of no less than 2/3 of the 85 federal subjects. The President formally submitted the bill to the State Duma on 20 January. On the 11th of March 2020, the State Duma, dominated by pro-government parties, swiftly approved the proposal in the third reading with no objection. By 13th of March 2020, legislative assemblies of all 85 federal subjects approved amendments to the Constitution. On 16th of March, the Constitutional Court of Russia gave their approval to the amendments. According to point 3 of Article 81 of the Constitution of Russia, the same person cannot hold a position of the President of the Russian Federation more than 2 terms in a row. This means that Vladimir Putin, who was elected president in 2012 and re-elected in 2018, was not able to participate in the 2024 presidential election without additional steps. In 2018, Putin said that he was not going to hold the post of president for more than 2 consecutive terms and denied the possibility of his participation in the 2030 election. Amendments to the Constitution of Russia solved so-called the 2024 problem that was connected with end of Putin's presidential powers in 2024. According to Gallup international opinion poll conducted in December 2017, if Putin was not to be on the ballot, 46% would not have known for whom to vote and 19% would have made the ballot paper invalid. Valery Fedorov said that the Russian population does not think about this problem. While the focus group participants gathered by the Levada Center identified 2 main scenarios for its solution: preservation of presidential powers by Vladimir Putin and the appointment of a successor. Valery Zorkin in 2018 proposed changing the constitution so Putin could remain in his office. Putin said he was not going to change the constitution in an interview with Megyn Kelly in March 2018. Sergei Markov said that Putin's repeated statements that there will be no abolition of terms of office have led discussion of possible scenarios for 2024 to a standstill. As a result, despite earlier promises, the restrictions that prevented Putin from remaining as president of the Russian Federation changed. According to political analyst Kirill Rogev, the constitutional design of Russian statehood remains unclear due to the unsuccessful experience of the tandem and the lack of institutions of distributed power. In addition to the obvious conflict between Putin's political regime and the official state system, the issue is also the impossibility for Putin to guarantee security for himself and his family if he leaves office completely, and the constitution which guarantees that as an eventual certainty. In 2020, 41 articles were rewritten and 5 more were added, excluding the first, second and the 9th chapters, which can be changed only by calling together a constituent assembly and developing a new constitution. Around 60% of articles were altered. Essentially, after the 1st of July there is going to be a Putin constitution instead of Yeltsin constitution, which means a significant change in a political system that has existed for over 25 years. The main amendments are focusing on how power is distributed between the branches of government, moving away from the super-presidential system that was established in 1993 and simultaneously creating a new one based on the principle of checks and balances. In general, the following